The web of lies that have been spun by China as part of its psy-ops have now been busted by India. Here on Times Now, we are going to bring to you how these lies were spun by China and what really has been countered by India as far as those pictures that were put up by China trying to show through its global propaganda machinery that it had captured Galwan. Of course, this was nothing but a lie, and it has been busted completely with photos of our armed forces standing with the tricolour at Galwan.
After an attempt was made by the Congress party to hide it. This is the same Congress party that questioned surgical strikes and called it surgical strikes. This is the same Congress party that questioned Balakot airstrike and said Chil Kauve Mare. This is the same Congress party that blamed India for Pulwama and gave a clean sheet to Pakistan. It must be shown as to what provisions are there in the contract signed between Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi family and the Chinese, because of which such kind of fakery is peddled by Rahul Gandhi on a daily basis only to undermine our Indian armed forces.
देखिए, चाइना की विस्तार विधि नीति के चलते हमारी सरहदों के पास पीएलए के 60,000 सैनिकों का जमावड़ा करना कहीं ना कहीं भारत की चिंताएं बढ़ाता है और हमारा मानना है कि भारत सरकार पूरी तरह फेल हुई है, चाहे उसमें कूटनीति हो, रक्षा नीति हो या विदेश नीति हो। 14 बैठकों के बाद भी हम किसी निर्णय पे नहीं पहुंच पाए हैं और जिस तरह से चाइना ने 5 अगस्त 2020 को हमारे निहत्थे सिपाहियों की हत्या कर दी, भारत उसका कोई माकूल जवाब अभी तक नहीं दे पाया है। अब समय आ गया है कि चाइना को मुंह तोड़ और माकूल जवाब दिया जाए भारत सरकार द्वारा।
Now you rightly said it's a Chinese propaganda, but problem is there's an extended arm of Chinese propaganda in India also. There's Congress Party, National Congress Party, and Rahul Gandhi is the spokesperson of that party. But when will Rahul Gandhi tell us what was the agreement which he signed with the Communist Party of China? The Indian National Congress and Communist Party of China, signed an agreement. Now, is this part of that? This extended arm of propaganda of the global time is part of that? They need to answer on that. Why to react on fake news? And if someone is to react on fake news, then I should ask a lot of questions on Rahul Gandhi's visit on New Year. There are a lot of fake news being spread on that also. A lot of questions being raised on his New Year visit abroad.
प्रधानमंत्री को देश को आश्वस्त करना चाहिए। आप एक्शन से करिए या बातचीत से करिए, हमें अपनी सेना पर पूरा भरोसा है। और जिस तरीके की नीतियाँ, ये तो कांग्रेस थी जिसने माउंटेन ब्रिगेड आदि बना करके जो हम अभी तक एक दृढ़ता से खड़े दिखाई दे रहे हैं, वो सब पिछली सरकारों की देन है। लेकिन इनको भी तो कुछ ऐसा दिखाना चाहिए जिससे लगे कि चीन को लगे कि भाई नहीं, भारत वो पहले का भारत नहीं।
Let's take this across to our guests who are joining us live now. With us is Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP. Also with us is Sanjay Jha, suspended Congress leader. Questions that are being raised as far as India and China and the LAC are concerned. The BJP is coming out to say, Sanjay Jha, let me come to you first, that these lies being busted and the questions, and they're even terming the Congress as the extended propaganda arm of China here in India. Your response to that?
Madhav, I think these are very preposterous accusations. My friend Tuhin is a much more reasonable, balanced person. I'm looking forward to his response to it. See, I don't think any political party in this country is, anti-national, anti-patriotic. That's such gibberish that I don't want to even dignify it by responding to that. But let's expose what RPN Singh was saying a little earlier. RPN Singh says that why are you falling for fake news, what he calls as fakery? Well, let me tell you, is he now going to say that the Indian Defence Forces or the Indian military has also fallen for the fake news? Because today, by making a very emphatic statement that we are very much there in Galwan Valley by the photo that you showed, the army has done the right thing. It has basically exposed the very malicious, malevolent, extremely malignant campaign that the Chinese have run against us from time immemorial. Whether it is one party or in power, whether it's a BJP, Congress or a third front, let me tell you, when it comes to foreign policy, national security, territorial sacrosanct nature of our boundaries, all of us are very committed to it. Now the question that the BJP has been raising is why do we suspect the fact that the government has been perhaps lackadaisical in responding? I'll tell you the reason why. The government of Mr. Modi is extraordinarily opaque, Madhav. And I'll give you a couple of instances. You know, the Chinese have officially renamed some of our villages in Arunachal Pradesh, giving it a Chinese name. Now we have to contradict that. And you see, the problem is that the government never speaks up. It always says sources.
No, but then the demand was for action being taken on China in the case of these, in the wake of these pictures coming in from what was allegedly Galwan, Sanjay Jha. That is the question, and that is the reason this question is being raised by the BJP. I'm going to give Tuhin Sinha a chance to rebut you on that. Tuhin Sinha.
Sure.
Well, good evening, Madhav. Madhav, you know, recently I co-authored a book called Mission Shenzhen, which delved into how Chinese money has penetrated Indian corporate space and Indian political space. Now, while the book was largely a work of fiction, when I see some atrocious tweets by the Congress party questioning the capabilities of our armed forces and, you know, casting aspersions on them, I do feel that the book is not very far away from truth. And this is not the first time where Rahul Gandhi has fallen for fake news or tweeted something without authenticating it. Let me take you 2 years back. Forget China. Let's come to Pakistan. On 24th August 2019, barely 19 days after the abrogation of Article 370, the Congress party had met to elect a new Congress president, which they could not. That evening, he comes out and peddles the news that there is bloodshed in Kashmir Valley. That news was utilized by Pakistan to browbeat India internationally. So when will the Congress party learn? And it's a fact that during the Doklam crisis, Rahul Gandhi had gone into the Chinese embassy to find out the situation. He didn't ask the Minister for Defense. He didn't, approach the Chief of Army Staff. So I think it is about time the Congress...
All right, Tuhin Sinha, Sanjay Jha, we're completely out of time. We're completely out of time. We will move on in